Good morning, Kenya. Yet another episode of the Breakfast Panel here in Tumo TV. And joining me is Beatrice Ogega, who is an activist and also a law student, and Victor Mololo, who is a theologian. And they are going to help us dig deep into this controversial issue of LGBTQ. And maybe you can introduce yourself, Beatrice, to start with you.
Oh, hello guys. Good morning. I'm Beatrice Ogega here, the activist.
Good morning to the dear viewer. I'm Victor Mololo, geologist, and I'm happy to join Mr. Joseph here this morning for our discussion. Thank you.
Thank you guys for making time for us, and we are going to just get into that controversial issue about LGBTQ. Now, the president of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, recently signed a bill that was unanimously passed by the legislative chambers of Uganda, and that bill states that the members of the victims of LGBTQ are going to be to death, sentenced to death, or imprisoned for life. So, what is your take on that, Beatrice?
My take on Yoweri Museveni's decision is, I think the decision should be null. The bill should be null and void because they're interfering with people's rights. These people have what rights and the responsibilities. It's their right to decide what they want to feel and how they want to express their feelings towards whether it is the same gender or the opposite gender. So I think the bill should be null. Yeah.
It should be null. So, you don't think that because most of the MPs voted in support of the motion?
I don't think they are doing the right thing. They are interfering with people's rights.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Victor?
Yeah.
What's your take?
According to me, the Museveni's rule, I think it is one of the unique ones, according to me,
Okay.
because to me, even the Bible states that any man who engages in sexual relationship with another man or an animal, that person should be put to death, should be killed. And this law, according to the Ugandan MPs, they have said that any person who is found or those people who are found in the act, they should be killed.
Yeah.
Or those who are found to engage in such conversation, they should be jailed for life sentence. So I think, to me, yes, people will shout and say it is against human rights.
Okay.
But looking at the biblical angle, that is what God said. Yeah.
But do you think, because that law says that the LGBTQ members
Yeah.
are criminals just by existing?
Those,
Yes.
I
They are
can't
criminals.
say they are criminals.
No, according to the law now. According to the
According
law.
to the Ugandan law,
Yes.
yeah, they are criminals according to the law of Uganda.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But what about
According to me, they are not criminals, they are sinners.
But criminals, offenders are the people that should be jailed. So how is that?
The criminals.
Yeah.
So
Because you are saying that they are not criminals.
I am talking about my opinion. They are sinners according to me. But according to the constitution of Uganda, they are criminals.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So what about here when we come to Kenya now? Do you think that same law should be enacted in Kenya?
I think as we talk now, there is a motion in parliament which wants to this community to be illegalized totally. They are illegalized, but the parliament needs to put more strict measures in order to curb this situation. So I think it is a matter which is in parliament,
Yeah.
but we will wait and see what the parliament will decide, because those are the people who we have elected to represent us. Yeah.
Yeah. And Beatrice, what do you think? Do you wish that the law should be enacted the same law that was enacted in Uganda should be enacted in
I
in
don't
Kenya?
think the same law should be enacted in Kenya, because by doing so, I think you're the guys. Okay, my partner here yesterday said that people like Kenyans are like we are copying the Western culture. So by enacting another law from another country, I think it's just the same thing. So you guys are always you want to tell us that you are also copying the Ugandan's law, bringing them into Kenyan law,
Just a point of question
and doing the same thing because Ugandans are doing so.
Yeah, if you allow me.
Yeah.
Uganda, I said another culture, not an. I said Africa is trying to copy the Western culture. So Uganda, it is Africa. So they are our brothers.
So there is no problem
So
when
because they are Africans, you're just copying because they are Africans, even if it's barbaric or something that doesn't make sense.
They are going to fight the Western civilization, that culture.
I don't think that's civilization. Civilization is accepting the modern culture. So this is the modern LGBTQ is the modern culture, and that's what we call civilization. Copying people's law is not civilization.
Let me just interrupt a bit. You said that I remember I asked you a question about that LGBTQ was not there before, but it is there now. So does that mean that it is an habit?
It is not a habit. It is modernization, because it's something that's evolving because of civilization.
But I think that is an habit.
How is it an habit? It is not a habit. A habit is something you develop, something you used to do, but now the consistency, But this is not something that was being done in the past. It's emerging because of the modernization and the civilization.
Okay. And why do you think these European organizations like the Amnesty International, the UN, and all organizations from the US were, they were against this law that Ugandan president enacted?
Because they feel that like the Ugandan president is still believing the backward beliefs of the culture. People should be civilized. We should think in the modern way. Not everything is based on the traditionals. Yeah. So I think they are against this because the president of Uganda he's denying himself of the fact that we are civilizing and we are moving. We are moving forward from the traditions. Yeah. We shouldn't believe on something that was enacted in the past and carry it along with us. We should be moving on. Yeah.
And Victor, what about you? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I wonder when my friend says here that this is an evolving world and we should forget about the past. And the Bible tells me that the things of the world will pass.
Okay.
But the word of God will remain the same. So if the word of God says that homosexuality is a sin, it will remain like that one.
Okay.
He has to come. It won't change. So this is the things of the word. Well, I want to ask, if this is a good idea, why is it not all over the world? Why have not those people who have married each other, the different genders, why don't they accept
by the missionaries? So I think by saying that Africans copy people, you are also copying the Europeans by saying you are a Christian, because we were colonized and that's how Christianity came along.
Just a point of correction.
Okay.
Christianity never originated from Europe.
It came from the missionaries.
The missionaries who came. But the origin of Christianity is not in Europe.
Is it from Africa?
It is not from Africa.
Is it an African culture?
It is not an African culture.
And then why are you saying that Africans copy people's cultures? But think by saying that you are also copying.
You cannot compare Christianity with LGBTQ.
The same way that Christianity came along is the same way that LGBTQ is coming along. So I think Africans should just accept the fact that people are emerging and things are evolving.
A question. Where did Christianity come from?
Christianity. Christianity originated from Israel.
From Israel?
Yeah.
The missionaries came from Israel?
No, the missionaries, those saints, those St. Paul, who and who, they traveled from the Israel to Rome to Greek. That is the Asian part. Okay. And then they ended where? Europe. But what made the missionaries to come to Africa?
Okay.
To spread the gospel?
My question is, where did those missionaries come from?
They
The
came from
missionaries
Europe.
that came from
They
Kenya.
came from Europe.
From Europe.
Yeah. Because
So,
they had,
see, you just said
before
that
they
didn't
had
come from
did,
the Europeans.
they did what? You have asked the origin of Christianity, and I'm talking
Oh, so
about,
you are tracing it back to those eras.
yeah, where it started until it went to Europe, so that the Europeans came
Okay.
to Africa. Because Africa, yes, you have said Africa, we are illiterate, and we were illiterate that time.
Illiteracy. Yeah.
So
Even now, you're still illiterate.
yeah, so you accept people are accepting LGBTQ because they are illiterate.
That's the reason why you are denying it. Because the same way, you see, the same way you are denying LGBTQ is the same way you guys denied Christianity until you were forced to accept it. And I think that's the same
Were they
route.
forced?
No one was forced to accept Christianity. Please.
At first, you guys,
No, no,
okay,
no,
there was
no.
a portion that
No.
denied Christianity and there's a
No.
portion that accepts. That's
No.
the same way there's a portion that is denying LGBTQ and there's a portion that is accepting
No,
it.
from history, you can't convince me that there are Africans who.
So you want to tell me that these people came and convinced people and all Africans accepted
No,
Christianity?
they used this method. They build schools,
Yeah.
hospitals, so that when you go there, they start preaching to the word of. They never forced you. Islamic is the only religion which forced Africans.
So Victor,
Yeah.
what is wrong with people being gays and lesbians?
What is
What
wrong?
is the problem?
It is not what is wrong. It is a sin. As I have told you, it is not acceptable.
It is a
In the
sin,
Bible.
but it is not bad.
How can a sin not be bad?
So what is the problem with that?
The problem is homosexuality. It is a sin.
Why is it a sin?
Lesbianism, it is a sin.
Why is it a sin?
Because it goes against the word of God.
So that is the question.
Yeah.
Why is it a sin?
Because it is not acceptable by the Bible.
Okay. And now, do you think that the president of Kenya is being forced by USA to legalize LGBTQ in Kenya?
I can't know, but the way I'm seeing, we can go the South African way.
Okay, I'm just being told that my time is running. My time is up, so we need to just take a very short break here, and we are going to resume back with that question. We're going to begin with you, Mololo. We're taking a very short break here in Tumo TV. This is the breakfast panel. We'll be back in a moment.
I chose Technical University of Mombasa because I believe it has the most competent tools for studying marine engineering.
It's a technical institution, so we have more exposure to doing practical work than to doing theory work.
We will train you, and you'll be in a position to acquire the skills that are required by the industry.
Right now we are working with some Norwegian firms to come up with different innovations that are transforming the community lives, especially in the security and health section.
In the serene environment of the coastal town of Mombasa lies the Technical University of Mombasa. This is the oldest technical training institution in Kenya, which was elevated to a fully fledged university in 2013.
Back here in Tumo TV. Remember, this is the breakfast panel. My name is Kituna Joseph. Now, to the question that we left it hanging, I just asked, do you think the president of Kenya is being forced by the USA to legalize LGBTQ in Kenya? Victor?
To me, I don't know, because we heard him saying that Kenya, it is a religious country, and it follows the law, the constitution.
And
so I don't know if he was just talking or he will act on that. But what I have told you is that we are waiting for the parliament to decide, because they are the ones who will decide if it will be allowed or not.
Beatrice, what do you think about that?
I think they are not forcing anyone to accept it. And even if they are not forcing the Kenyans, I think they should force it, because they need to accept that fact. They need to accept that there's a portion that supports. Okay, there's a portion that have feelings for the opposite gender, and there's a portion that have feelings for the same gender, and people's rights and freedom of expression should be considered in this thing, because they're just trying to express their feelings. They're trying to show.
And it is inborn.
It is something they were born with. They can't. You can't deny that. You can't arrest someone for expressing her feelings.
Okay.
So I think it should be forced. They should be forced to accept it.
They should be forced.
They should be forced.
Kenyans.
Even you.
Kenyans should be forced to accept.
Will you be allowed to be forced?
To be forced to do what? I've already accepted it, so I don't want any force, because I've already accepted it.
So Obama is coming back to Kenya. Do you think that it is going to affect the stand of the president? Because he had.
I don't think Obama has anything to do with it.
But he married a fellow man like himself.
There is no evidence stating that Michelle Obama is a man.
It is said
It
that
is people's notion that I don't know whether to call that she's a man, but I don't think there is no evidence saying that she's a man.
Okay.
So how do you want to explain the children, the kids? How did they come along if Michelle is a man?
They say that she was done a surgery.
But there is no evidence. Nobody knows whether she's a man or a woman. So there is no. I don't think Obama has anything to do with the topic.
Okay. What do you think, Victor?
About
When Obama comes back to Kenya, do you think it is going to affect the stand of the president?
well, I don't think, because I will just repeat my answer is that the parliament will decide.
Okay. The Parliament of Kenya will decide. Now, guys, we are doing a wrap up of this program. Remember, this is Tumo TV. My name is Kituna Joseph. Now we can get the last remarks from Beatrice and then Victor. Maybe we can start with you, Beatrice.
I think as I finalize this thing, I just want to urge people those who are not still accepting the fact that there is the LGBTQ community. I just want to tell you that it's high time you accept it, because these people exist and there's nothing you can do about it.
Okay. Victor, what can you say?
Okay, I can just tell my viewer that even the Bible tells us that my people are perishing because of lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
And another thing, that don't make stupid people feel or be famous. Nice day.
That is the end of our show here in Tumo TV.